Hello and welcome to our presentation on ethics and design practices. So you might be asking yourself, why is ethics important? Well, ethics and design are actually really important because ethics will shape the world we live in when it comes to how we design things and how that's implemented. And a few basic points that you might have seen already in the slideshow is that ethics can be broken down into very few simple key concepts, right? Ethics should influence design so that they avoid harming people, or in a case where that's not really possible, it should minimize the effects of things that are damaging or potentially harmful. Ethics also should influence designs to incorporate a lot of beneficiary factors, so their design is more, humane and optimal. The first case that comes to mind when ethical practices are very heavily influencing of designs and what could be considered to be a good or bad ethical choice in a design practice would be the Therac 25 machine. Previous models had inbuilt hardware safeguard. Therac machines dealt in radiation therapy, which in the wrong dosages and wrong spots could obviously cause quite a lot of damage to the human body due to the exposure to radiation. So in this Kaggle, there are some ethical considerations, such as thinking about building or refuse to build the Therac 25. So if they refused to build it, they could have considered who would be harmed by it. The stakeholders, probably people who are involved with the company. There are people who also would not be treated for their cancer. The radiation therapy is very important. So they can also consider the pros and cons of refusing to build this Therac machine. The Therac machine, if they had built it, on the other hand, could have saved lives. They could have removed cancer from clients. Programmers could get paid. Hospitals could have a good reputation for up-to-date medical technology. However, they chose not to implement hardware safeguards, and they wrongly assumed that Therac 25 software that was based off of the older machine softwares was flawless, and that resulted in a bunch of negligence that also resulted in a bunch of death. In the constant expanding technology that is developed today, algorithmic intelligence has also been a very focal point and controversial topic. Recently, cars have been able to drive themselves, not entirely due to particular algorithmic intelligence, but still on the topic that the program does the decisions that humans should make. As my peer Will has typed up on one of his slides, for example, a self-driving car has a decision to either stop or go or avoid an obstacle, one that's usually reserved for the decision making of a fully fledged and aware human being. Self-driving cars has progressed, but they've also had a prolonged controversial debate of accidents and failures. Ethics when it comes to designing these self-driving cars, for example, one major feature is that they always have an option to switch to manual control at any given point in the operation of the vehicle. But ethics don't just stop there, they also apply to business as well. Ethical behavior is really important when it comes to keeping a positive and good reputation. This helps the company have long-term and very good success. It also builds trust in the stakeholders, because trust isn't just created overnight, it is earned, and ethical behavior is crucial when appealing to people like stakeholders and employees. Ethical behavior is also really important part of the company because it affects our society as a whole. Companies are the ones that are making our technology that we use in our everyday lives, such as communication in our phones, also entertainment such as gaming, media, and things of that nature. Ethical designs also apply to cybersecurity and systems that require sensitive information to be protected. For example, back in 2013, Yahoo was breached and roughly 3 billion people were affected. Names, passwords, and other personal information was stolen. In a separate incident, 4 Chinese hackers managed to infiltrate a banking company using a weakness in an access point, and over 145 million users' banking information was stolen. That included credit cards and social security.